When you're in the mood for ice cream, it can be difficult to find dairy-free options in the store. And if you are lucky enough to find vegan options, they can often be pretty expensive. That's why today I'm going to show you how to make 3 vegan ice cream, aka nice cream recipes at home. They're made with bananas, which means that they're affordable, naturally sweet, creamy, and super simple to make. All you need is frozen bananas and a food processor, plus a few extra ingredients. So to get started, let me show you how to prepare the frozen bananas. So to make the sweetest and creamiest ice cream, you're going to need ripe bananas with lots of little brown spots all over the skin. And we're just going to go ahead and peel these bananas up. So for all 3 recipes I'll be making today, I'm going to be using about 10 bananas total. And I'm just lining them up in a row and cutting them into about 3/4 inch slices. You can go thinner. You probably don't want to go too much thicker though, just so that the blade of the food processor is able to blend these up nice and smooth really easy. And then to freeze them, I'm going to place these in a mixing bowl and I'm going to break these up into different layers so that the bananas don't freeze together in clumps, so that when it's time to put them in the food processor, they're nice individual pieces. So I'm just going to put down a layer of parchment paper and then add another layer of these sliced bananas for freezing. And I'm going to continue this process for the next bananas I need for the recipe and cover with parchment paper and freeze overnight until they are solid. So first up, I'm going to show you how to make a really easy 3-ingredient strawberry banana ice cream. All you need to make this is 2 frozen large to medium bananas. You want them to be super duper ripe. We're also going to be using 2 cups of frozen whole strawberries, and these are going to add some brightness and some tartness to this nice cream. You could also use 1 to 2 tablespoons of sweetener if you feel like you need it, but I think that this is perfectly sweet without it. So the appliance that I'm going to be using to make all 3 of these nice creams today is my food processor. I absolutely love this food processor, but if you've looked up prices of food processors online or in the store, they can be pretty pricey. So one tip I want to give is that if you're looking for kitchen appliances, check out the thrift store or yard sales or even Facebook Marketplace. You can find a used one in good condition for a great deal. I picked this Cuisinart up for 15 bucks a few years ago and I absolutely love it. So without delay, it's time to put our first strawberry ice cream together. So I'm going to start off by adding my frozen bananas in. Then I'm going to add in my frozen strawberries. So I'm just going to go ahead and add on my lid. And now that it's secure, I'm going to start by pulsing it a few times just to get the blade going. Alright, and that started to break down nicely, so I'm just going to turn it on and let it go for about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. So it's blending up pretty good so far. I moved this front and center so you can get a great view, but I see some chunks. So I'm just going to help this along a little bit with my spatula and mix this up just a little bit to make sure that the chunks of fruit are getting pressed into the blade, so this blends up nice and evenly and smooth. But already this pink color is so pretty, and it tastes as good as it looks. All right. And so we have this beautifully creamy strawberry banana. nice cream here, and I left a few of the chunks in just for added texture, but you can blend it till it's completely smooth if you like. So for a texture that's similar to soft serve, you can serve this up right away, but I want to put this in the freezer for about 30 minutes to an hour just to get it slightly firmer so that I can scoop it with my ice cream scooper. So I'm just going to put this in a nice airtight container, and I will scoop it up at the end when I show you all 3 of our completed flavors. Okay, so there you have it. Our strawberry banana ice cream is ready to go. So like I said, I'm just going to put this in the freezer to chill, and we'll be back to make our next recipe. So for the next delicious dairy-free nice cream recipe, I'm going to show you how to make a banana pudding nice cream. So this recipe only has 4 ingredients. Once again, very simple and very affordable. We're using 4 very ripe bananas that I have sliced and frozen. We have here about 10 to 12 vanilla sandwich cookies. It's kind of difficult to find vanilla wafers that are vegan, but if you can find them, go ahead and use those for sure. But I'm just using some vanilla sandwich cookies. They're going to have that nice crunchy texture and sweetness that you know and love. So these are a perfect option. Then I have here 1 package of instant vanilla pudding mix, and I have here a cup of very cold plain unsweetened almond milk. So typically this pudding recipe calls for about 2 cups of plant-based milk, but we don't want this to be too runny, so we're only using half the plant-based milk, and it's going to set up nice. And then we're also going to be using 1 ripe banana just to add some extra chunks in there if we need them. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to go ahead and make our instant pudding, and I think this bowl will be big enough for me to just go ahead and make it right in here. So I'm just going to gradually pour this in. You could use a bigger bowl and then you don't have to worry about spilling as much, but I just want to keep the amount of dishes I have to do to a minimum, so I'm just going to mix this up right now in here, and it's starting to thicken already, which is perfect. So I decided to just make my life easier and get a bigger bowl. So we're just going to pour that in along with the remainder of our pudding mix, and then I'm just going to whisk this together till it's smooth. Now we are also going to be adding this to the food processor, so if there are a few lumps, don't worry too much about it. They will get worked out by the food processor. But it's just so cool how this instant pudding mix thickens up right away. And that's exactly what we want to make our banana pudding a perfect texture. So now it's time to start putting our ingredients into our food processor. So like I said, this is 4 medium to large, very ripe bananas that have been frozen. I'm gonna add those in. Then we're gonna add in our pudding, instant pudding here. Looking good. Be sure to scrape all that out and put our lid on. And we're going to get this blended just to start, so we can start mixing all this together, and then we'll add in our vanilla sandwich cookies in just a bit. So let's pause and then just turn it on, blend for 30 to 60 seconds until smooth. Okay, so our bananas and pudding are blending really nicely. They're kind of getting clumped together on one side, so I'm just using my spoon to break that up a little bit. But it tastes amazing already. It tastes just like banana pudding, and why wouldn't it, right? Okay, so that's looking really nice and smooth so far. So now I'm just going to add in my chopped up cookies and just pulse them in so that they can get mixed into our banana pudding. Alright, so our vanilla sandwich cookies are nice and incorporated. So now we're going to get this into an airtight container and get it into the freezer so it can set up and chill for about an hour. Alright, so we're just going to pour this in. Has a really nice, thick and rich consistency. And I would just say that if you want this to be ready to eat right out of the food processor without having to chill at all, you can reduce the amount of plant milk you use from 1 cup down to 1/2 cup, and it'll get even thicker right away. I just have a few more vanilla sandwich cookies, so I'm just going to crumble those up right on top for even more nice texture. And our banana pudding nice cream is ready for the freezer. I actually decided to come back really quickly before I put this in the freezer to add a few slices of fresh banana on top, just to add some extra texture and a little bit more of a pretty look to this. So this step is optional, but I think it's going to be a great addition to this. All right, on the lid goes and into the freezer. Okay, so now it's time to assemble our final banana nice cream, and this is going to be a peach crumble nice cream. So once again, very simple ingredients. You only need 4. We're using 4 super ripe large bananas that have been sliced and frozen overnight. We are going to be using 1 can of sliced peaches and syrup. So I drained all the syrup off. This is about 1 3/4 cup of peaches. So you could use fresh, you could use frozen, but 1 1/2 to 2 cups of peaches are going to be the perfect amount for this recipe. And I do like these because they're room temperature. They're going to help everything blend together really smoothly. And also because they are in syrup and they do have a little bit of added sugar, they're going to add some sweetness to our nice cream, but not too much. So I like using canned, also because they're just super duper affordable when fresh peaches are out of season. Next up, for our crumble, in our peach crumble nice cream, we're going to be using some granola. So we have here, I think this is about 2 cups of granola. So we're going to use some for garnish and some to blend into the nice cream. And then we just have a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, just to add a little bit of warming spice to balance out the fruity freshness of the peaches and the bananas. So all we need to do is put this all into the food processor. All our bananas are going in. Get those spread out. Next, we're going to add in about 1/2 of our peaches. The 1/2 will infuse that flavor throughout the nice cream, and then we'll add in the other 1/2 in just a little bit, so we have a few chunks of peaches that will be distributed throughout the nice cream. So put about 1/2 in and save the rest. And then we're also going to add in our cinnamon at this time. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this on over, put our lid on, and start blending. As always with the food processor, I like to start off with a few pulses and then let it go and blend for 30 to 60 seconds. Alright, so we've got this mostly blended up smoothly, and now I'm just going to add in the rest of our peaches now, just to get some nice flecks of peach chunks throughout this nice cream, but it smells amazing already. Alright, so that was just 5 or 6 pulses, and then we're going to add in 1/2 of this granola and pulse it 5 or 6 more times. Alright, that's it. We do not want to over blend this because we don't want to lose that nice texture from our peaches and our granola. So with that said, it's time to go ahead and put this in a bowl so it can sit up in the freezer for about an hour. I'm going to add this to our container right now. So we've got our nice cream in our container, and I'm just spreading this out into an even layer. So I'll give you a quick tip. If you want this to be more of a soft serve consistency that you can eat right away, you're definitely going to want to use frozen peaches instead of canned or fresh. But like I said, we have a little bit of time to let these set up, and I like to have these be scoopable so I can scoop them up into my bowl anyhow. But yeah, the textures remained really nicely intact. You can see those flecks of peach in there and the granola as well. And then I'm just going to finish this off by topping it off with our remaining granola on the top. So we're just going to let those set up for the next 90 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and scoop them and serve them up and show you just how delicious these nice cream recipes look. So after about 90 minutes in the freezer, our strawberry banana ice cream is ready to scoop, and it has a nice creamy, icy texture and a tart and sweet flavor, kind of like sherbet. Next, we're scooping up our banana pudding ice cream, and this has those nice slices of banana along with chunks of vanilla sandwich cookie. And so we're just adding a few scoops of this to our bowl. This recipe took closer to 3 to 4 hours to set up in the freezer just to get this nice scoopable. And then I'm just adding a few slices of fresh banana as well as 2 of these vanilla sandwich cookies for even more texture and a nice little garnish. And this is also optional, but if you have it, you can add a little bit of vegan whipped cream on top. And last but not least, we have our peach crumble nice cream. So as you can see, this is scooping up really nice, and this also had to set up in the freezer for about 3 to 4 hours to achieve this texture. But like I mentioned during the demo, if you use frozen peaches instead of fresh, it should be ready to eat a lot quicker. And that granola adds a nice crunch and chew as well. And this is probably one of my favorite flavors that I made today. So there you have it, 3 simple and delicious recipes for vegan ice cream, aka nice cream. You can find the link to the full written recipes in the link below or in the description, or you can go to Afro-Vegan-Society.org and type in nice cream recipes in the search bar. We'll see you next month with an all new dairy-free cooking demo. Bye!